does that mean the whole system is crook? Like we are fucked up because again, if KEBS can approve hizo fertilizers na nini ziende kwa ground, then role yao ni gani? Au sometimes maybe KEBS just sell bags zenye already ziko printed na logo yao without inspect.
Kenya is one big PR department. Kazi yetu ni kufanya PR, public relations, we sell stories zenye hakuna. The president actually went ahead and gave an example of Kenya was one of the success stories of that whole fertilizer program. It is weird when the president is claiming when Kenya is a success and other African countries will embrace, and his own minister is absent from the same summit because he's in Senate explaining why they are selling sand to Kenyans.
Au kuna mtu maybe anajaribu pia kucheza na gava kumwonyesha yo bro, you know what, you are going to fail big on this.
How powerful, how influential do you have to be to sabotage the entire government using the government itself?
And you see,
because wait, it will be possible if someone else, kama ingekuwa ni government yenyewe inauza hii fertilizer, this government was acquired by the government itself. Tendering was done by the government itself,
and that's the most in fact even the reason why someone could sabotage.
Like who?
Because I want to disregard au kuonyesha how incompetent this government is. Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Speakers Corner podcast. By the way, our topic of today, I will term it as a special podcast. Leo nadhani whatever we are going to talk today is very special because we are going to talk or we are going to voice the thoughts of those who might not have a voice kama yenye maybe sisi ama those of you wenye wana hii platform. For us, since tuko na hii platform, I think today is one day that we are going, sijui niseme aje, towards the government partly. I don't know kama generally we will go to the government how these incompetent leaders, because sometimes we should just call the things how it is. We should just call a spade because hizi issue ya fertilizer mimi sioni how hiyo stuff inakuwa treated na hii. Unajua mimi naona ni kama imechukuliwa na upole sana kuliko vile inafaa.
When I started doing the podcast with you, we had an episode and we spoke about leadership and politics.
Yeah, of course.
The thing about Kenyans, we don't differentiate between politics and leadership. We think all politicians are good leaders.
Yeah.
So people are just about influence, not change. Unaona mambo ya mbolea, it's a problem. It's embarrassing seeing that everything that is happening now. I don't know, mimi niliona hiyo Mithika Linturi akiwa anahojiwa jana when he was delivering his
akiwa kwa hiyo committee
address.
Okay.
And then I remembered senior counsel aitwa Haminwa.
John Haminwa.
John Haminwa. The old man, like 80 or something.
Very old man.
That man alikuwa anakaa mzee lakini alikuwa articulate about these things. And I wish people will understand him because I understood him like I was part of him. So,
yeah.
He said something that I would like us to base this whole thing on.
Okay.
He said the Minister of Agriculture, the CS, he would have done us a great favor
by
resigning.
But again, the guy was very rude because I remember him answering a senior counsel at you. That's just an imagination in your head.
He was, he didn't know. It's like we have developed a culture, politicians kufikiria ni kama they're so intangible.
Yeah.
That even before it was in Senate, there's a time aliambiana hawezi resign.
Yes, hawezi resign.
Ako kwa serikali. You know?
Yeah.
And they keep on talking like they're running a cartel and it's Pablo Escobar leading the country or something. Yeah. I don't know. Do we sell cocaine or is this a country?
No. Of course it is a country.
So,
but maybe a country run by crooks.
It's terrible when we have a government that is totally based on religion, as they called it. We are like a Christian state. But we mirror more of the Animal Farm. Have you read The Animal Farm? There's a book in it, The Animal Farm.
No.
I would like you to read it. Let me tell you. Let me start by telling you what The Animal Farm talks about. It was written in the 1960s, I think, 40s, based on the Russian Revolution that happened in around 1919. Whatever things happened in Russia in 1919 are happening now
in Kenya.
Yes. The writer starts by, when the book starts, animals chase the farm out of the farm. It's like uko na shamba si ndio?
Yeah.
Then one day animals decide you've been terrible to them and they are overthrowing you. So they throw you out.
Yeah.
And then pigs take over. Now,
pigs take over.
Yes.
You know, I'm just imagining the pigs ruling on it. Yeah.
So the pigs take over, and I think your analogy ya pigs inatokanga kwa hiyo animal farm.
Yeah.
The pigs take over, and when they started, they promised democracy.
Yeah.
They said they will be fair to everyone. But now after they take over, they start changing laws kidogo. You remember when they said the hustler would rule? Hustler itakuwa hustler fund itakuwa.
It will be, in fact, it will be a hustler nation. Hustlers will be there.
Ilikuwa inafaa ikuwe hustler donation, haikuwa ni hustler fund was supposed to be alone. Then after wamefika, they say, well, you know, you have to pay back this money.
We have to service the commission with hizo mavitu moja bili.
That mirrors an argument yenye happen kwa animal farm where the animals mara ya kwanza walikuwa wamesema no animals will sleep on beds. Because humans did. And animals were like mbona wengine wanalala kwa vitanda sisi tunalala chini. When the pigs took over, they changed the law kidogo wakasema animals can sleep with the bed as long as there's no bed sheet. It happened. So tell me tofauti nini na hiyo wakati na saa hizi where you say something then you keep on twisting.
And on that note, I think umeanza ukisema story ya leaders and politicians. And personally I was just thinking the government the president, I'm holding the president responsible for this, because even if I'm a politician, why would I at the same time give politicians dockets I know they can't handle? Because of course I'm a politician, I need to have a better portfolio, because again I'll be running maybe for my second term.
That's why
I would be inafaa nikuwe na pull leaders, the people will help me even sell my second manifesto, you see.
That will be true if we had a leadership, if we had leaders. But as you said, you only have politicians. It's about influence. What Ruto did, alichagua watu based on penye wanatoka, their community.
Because I want to pull this community, I want to pull the other community.
So akachagua tu politicians wenye walikuwa na influence huko, wenye walianguka kura ama wako
simama. Of course wenye walianguka kura. Na wenye wako simama because pia nini iko in our favor. The numbers and everything.
And I need you to go back to the 2010 constitution. One of the biggest changes ilikuwa ministers ama CSS will no longer be from elected from elected positions. Initially during Moi's time ilikuwa ministers wanatolewa kwa parliament.
MPs,
you are an MP unapatiwa
a ministry position.
The 2010 constitution decided ministers will not be MPs. That was to separate the executive which should have leaders and the administrators from politics. Now what we have is a corruption of the constitution, of course by His Highness the greatest king of deception himself. Zakayo. And I'm not even trying to be rude. Now, fertilizer. We have an incompetent MP, former senator, who's supposed to be a lawyer, I think, ameingia.
And you see, you hold it there when someone who's supposed to be a senator. You know, again, we have some dukuduku na papers zake, credibility za papers zake.
We have dukuduku about all of them.
Okay.
They have Indian degrees.
Yes. Of course.
Now, tuko na, I think ni lawyer, professionally speaking.
Yes.
And then anapatiwa docket ya agriculture. He has no idea about it. Hajui anzia wapi aende wapi. And the same thing happening with the transport. We have Murkomen, another lawyer, who is supposed to, kazi yake ni kupanga press conferences na kuongea. And then fertilizer inakuwa brought in, inauziwa watu, inapatikana ni mawe. Then it started from a journalist, Jonah Lanamu. Jonah Lanamu will break your story, by the way. And then he calls him out. Do you know they tried to reach him several times and he was rude. Alikataa.
Alikuwa anakataa.
Na wakati alipatikana akasema hiyo bora si government ilikuwa inauza. Ilikuwa tu ina distribute. You see how they are getting, they're pulling the salt of it. And then you look at it, the company apparently is owned by I don't know, in-law wake tena.
Something like that.
And in-law wa minister ndio anaown your company. Partly. Wakasema hii mbolea ilitoka Tanzania. Tanzanians said no. We did not sell you stones. That is all on you. Wakasema kumbe hata iko fertilizer. What we have is a soil conditioner. Did they sell it to Kenyans as a soil conditioner?
Yeah.
No.
And again, don't forget, bado on that run alikuwa bado pia anakataa, anasema it is not fake fertilizer.
Si ndio?
Not fake fertilizer.
It is not fake fertilizer.
Baadaye ndio akakuja akasema substandard issues, anasema the chemicals component were not
they actually call it a soil conditioner.
Yeah.
Ndio kutoa tu ile kwamba unajua si hatujauzia fertilizer, sisi tunauzia soil conditioner, but which farmer went to buy a soil conditioner from the NCPB?
Yeah.
People went for fertilizer.
And so with all this, do you think maybe
unaona the thing about this situation in happen, and I may understand where your confusion comes from, is the fact that the government has changed tunes so many times over the last 1 month about this situation. Until, you know, it's weird, for the first time even Kenya Kwanza politicians will vote against their own minister, and it never happens.
Yeah. They went against him.
Yes.
And again, on that note, tunapata sasa hiyo issue ya nepotism, because again nimemwona akicry for akisema ana regret ama sio amesemaje, at the person mwenye ali sacrifice for, he has turned against him. So do you think again hiyo kitu ni right, like leader unapatikana kwa mistake, and again you want the government to protect you when in real sense wewe unapeleka watu nini?
I think anatumia kitu inaitwa pathos. In ethics, or rather when creating an argument, there are 3 methods you can use. Something called pathos is where you use emotion
to sell,
yes, to convince people. So kwa mfano, balani kuja nikwambie tu,
so in short you are acting as a victim.
Yes, you become a victim. Narcissists do that a lot.
Yeah.
Logos is where you use logic. But then if he based his argument on logic, then he will fall flat.
Yeah.
And then
of course with the logic hawezi pata kitu.
Hawezi. You know, now we have this emotional minister, ameitwa mbele ya Senate, and then the only thing, the way he defended himself, and that was all over media jana. He was talking about how Ali sacrificed for the previous government.
Yeah.
And then they threw him under the bus, sijui walimfukuza kwake, sijui bibi yake alifanya nini. Now, we are in a situation where millions of Kenyans have been affected. And the most affected are the hustlers, because those are the people who cannot afford fertilizer, and those are the people who depend on the government for the subsidy. As they say, they're subsidizing production. Turns out, they are subsidizing theft.
And then, don't you think on that note, okay, I'm sorry to cut you short, but again, don't you think someone is trying to sabotage the government, maybe to just sell the idea? Because remember, when President Ruto was ascending to power, one of the things he had promised was about subsidizing fertilizers.
Yes.
And again, now the subsidized fertilizer, you expect it were better, because he was out there selling a very, yani ukiangalia, yani ungenda na imagination ya words zenye alikuwa anapeana hii fertilizer.
Because alikuwa anasema samples design soil from
so they will design fertilizers zenye zita favor our soil and everything. And at the same time tunakuja tunapata ni mawe tunauziwa. Don't you think, au kuna mtu maybe anajaribu pia kucheza na gava kumwonyesha yo bro, you know what, you are going to fail big on this.
How powerful, how influential do you have to be to sabotage the entire government using the government itself?
And you see,
because wait, it will be possible if someone else, kama ingekuwa ni government yenyewe inauza hii fertilizer. This government was acquired by the government itself. Tendering was done by the government itself. And that's the most in fact you the reason why someone could sabotage. Like who?
Because I want to disregard au kuonyesha how incompetent this government is.
I don't think someone needed to sabotage the government. The government is just incompetent. Sawa. People from the government knew huyo Linturi kwa mfano.
Because again I'm wondering. Mbona uuzie watu mawe? So that ugain nini or okay. And pia I understand that point could again drag us back. Kuna conversation tulikuwa nayo about state capturing. Ile yenye tuseme tulikuwa tunaongelea especially na western politicians wanataka tu kumake watu poor intentionally so that make slaves wao uko unawapigia
kura.
So maybe pia the government could be doing that so that at the end of the seasons hatuna adequate nini mavuno sio adequate, so that again they import.
Remember mara kwanza the minister actually said Azimio ndio wanaambia watu mambo ya fake fertilizer. They are selling rumors.
Yeah, I remember that.
Mambo ya excuses, we are past that at this point. What I know or what I think, the president may not have been privy to whatever was happening. But when you hire thieves, kwa mfano ukihaya mchungaji wako wa ng'ombe mwenye ni mwizi, anakamua, anaweka maji kwa maziwa, anauza. But remember, wewe ndio brand ni wewe, you are the farmer. So watu wakienda wanasema wewe ng'ombe za Dante sisi anauza maji. They won't be like, mchungaji wa Dante anauza maji. Sawa?
I take hizo
you take responsibility for hiring someone mwenye anachanganya maji kwa maziwa. Kwa maziwa. So whom do you blame? It goes back to the president hiring politicians. Remember these politicians? These politicians have always remained relevant by stealing from the people. Wanajenga mabarabara so that they can overprice the tenders. Wanaiba pesa. When you vote thieves,
you don't expect anything.
Hata ukue mzuri aje, and you cannot wash your hands useme mimi sikuwa involved kwa sababu na like Linturi wants to claim that CA ndiye aliuza hiyo mbolea, si kampuni yake ilikuwa involved, so is not responsible. But when you are giving someone responsibility, wewe mwenyewe, you remain responsible for the actions of that person.
Of course.
Sindio?
When I mandate you time ya ku answer, I guess I should be the one answering this question.
Yes. So the cereals board for Ministry of Agriculture. The cereals board didn't even acquire the fertilizer. It is the ministry itself under, I don't know how they did it, but how do you know fertilizer? Whether the minister was involved or not, the fact that they did not have a mechanism, because we have KEBS.
And again, wait, of course, on that note, we have KEBS. Na ndio nimetaka sasa nikwambie, does that mean the whole system is crook? Like, we are fucked up because again, if KEBS can approve hizo fertilizers na nini ziende kwa ground, then role yao ni gani? Au sometimes maybe KEBS just sell bags zenye already ziko printed na logo yao without inspecting.
What they do, they take a sample kama kijiko moja hivi. I was in a sugar company at some point nikiwa in attachment. So what they do, they only sample, sawa? So what will happen ni they may not even go kwa field, but atumanisha tumieni sample. Na mtu anachagua sample ya fertilizer mzuri, unaweza not see nyingine from labda Mea or some other brand, and you take it there. Na wanapima. It goes well. This case, what happened in this particular case ni John Alanamu alipewa hizo story by a driver who was transporting that fertilizer. And then before I publish your story, akatuma sample KEBS. KEBS quiet on the story. Akatuma sample, I don't know nasema Egerton ama wapi. I think it was Egerton. Wakapima, didn't meet standards. So he ran the story until kwenye story inakuwa aired kwa TV, and then KEBS response wanasema enye hata si tulipima ni mwitu.
So mulipima ni mwitu. Why mbona mku take responsibility ama mbona amku jaribu ku reach out?
Dan, I'm telling you, Kenyans, we are on our own.
We are.
Since we depend on the grace of God. If God blinks, we are fucked.
And again, you see, it is very sad for us Kenyans. Ama sijui niseme watu wengine hawana aibu, because again, it is to my surprise that Kenya again we are hosting a summit for fertilizer and soil health. When na unajua kwa summit yenyewe, it is like ukiangalia what the president Junior and your host na nini, he's trying to, because again tumekuwa amid this summit we have 6 African leaders, and now the president is trying to sell them the idea of we should embrace sisi wenyewe create our own fertilizer, manufacture, tuuze, because sisi wenyewe ndo tunaelewa soil zetu na nini, na pia hiyo anakuja kuambia tu ideas zenye pia si amekuwa anatusaidia, if we do that tutanesa harvest itakuwa mob na nini. And I am wondering at this time when wewe mwenye hiyo si kujipiga kofi ama siju kutupwa mayai mozo kwa sura, because
unaona there's something I've always said, Kenya is one big PR department. Kazi yetu ni kufanya PR, public relations, we sell stories zenye hakuna. The president actually went ahead and gave an example of Kenya was one of the success stories of that whole fertilizer program. It is weird when the president is claiming when Kenya is a success and other African countries will embrace, and his own minister is absent from the same summit because he's in Senate explaining why they are selling sand to Kenyans. It's problematic,
and that also shows na pia tena at the same time maybe tu nikirudi nyuma, that also shows how maybe sometimes we give people tenders. Yani leaders kama tu vile ulisema wanapeana tender so that they could overcharge, wapate something in return, but they don't take responsibility ya kwenda ku oversee.
Na unajua one reason for this happening inaweza kuwa you tender someone and then unaitisha maybe tender ni 10 billion unataka kule 2 billion.
2 billion.
So what does that person go do? Wanaenda kwa kware, wanachukua mawe, piga mix yao mzuri, wanatengeneza condition wametuambia. They sell it to Kenya.
Yeah, because I'm selling you your worth na kuuzia kibiashara. Siwezi nikakupatia stuff mzuri quality na pesa iko chini.
It has always happened. And KEBS actually sijai kwa I don't know if I've told you mimi professionally I'm about chemist. I'm supposed to work place kama KEBS ama quality assurance.
Yeah.
Nilienda kwa company fulani attachment only to realize that the most senior officer wa quality assurance ni mtu ya diploma. I have nothing against watu wa diploma. We love you all. Sawa. But the point is that is not the highest qualification that exists for that job. And this company, I'll mention the company because that is my problem. Mumia Sugar. Mumia Sugar that is number 1 brand ya sukari. Ilianguka why? Because we have so many incompetent people.
Wamekuwa hapo because of nepotism, some of them.
Yes. Now, na issue hata it's not like ni new problem so that hata tutasema Kenya Kwanza imefail because it's a new problem. The biggest failure ya Kenya Kwanza is not the corruption itself. It is the failure to stop the corruption they complained about.
Yeah. Because waliuza ideas huko nje, sisi hiyo corruption tutadeal nayo. Nyinyi mnanijua kweli? I remember him saying that. Mimi
imagine if wewe ni mama mboga. Sawa?
Yeah.
You are, ama hata unaweza kuwa mama mboga, you are the farmer wa kupanda mboga. Now you uko na uzua fake fertilizer. Sawa?
For real.
Wame introduce new hiyo ETR system where everybody pays taxes including the farmer pays 5%. So after umepanda umepanda nini mboga, umepewa fake fertilizer, imezaa kidogo sana. So that uko kwa hasara kitambo,
tena unakata 5%.
Unapeana, sawa? Then huyo mama wa soko pia atakatiwa 5% nyingine. This government
kanjo wako pale. Yani mimi ni venye naona this government is determined to make us poor. Hiyo ndo intention yao, because I don't see anything good out of this. Because I remember even the president saying those people say wenye wamenunua nini they must be compensated wenye wamenunua fake fertilizer. And I was wondering, okay, yes, kuna wale wenye wako registered na nini, but again, were they compensated?
Money from where? Unajua when people starting about compensation, where does the money come from first? And second,
he was saying in an angle ya wapewe esa fertilizer mzuri.
From where? You see, they actually said that only 3,000 bags were fake. So which means they're only planning to compensate 3,000 people. But that is a far cry.
Yeah.
Samples that were taken randomly.
Yeah.
There was fake fertilizer in Trans Nzoia, there was fake fertilizer in Nakuru, in Kakamega.
Yeah.
Trans Nzoia peke yake ilikuwa na more than 3,000 bags.
Bana.
Ama walikuwa wanapangaje hizo bags that mbili zinajipata huko mbili. Then it must have been a whole system involved.
Yeah, a whole system. And you see again, like mimi nashangaa this tendency just on the same, because tumeona you were mentioning about KEBS. Tukaona sijui KEBS wali suspend around sijui 2 officers ama more. It could be more than 2 officers. Hiyo kampuni KEL, hiyo chemicals wakawanyang'anywa license. But you know, this is just a tendency ama a norm that has been there. Kuna kwa na mistake, unasikia someone has been suspended but nothing good comes of it. Hakuna na improvement, hakuna policies na nini. Because again, ongoja tu baada ya muda another ministry is going to have a problem and you will see the same ministry involved tena KEBS. Not yani like
unaona what is happening ni we have incompetent people in all dockets. We actually have illiterate people kama Aisha Juma ama Zindo nani wenye ni ministers. The minister wa health sijui yako na diploma ya pharmacy ama kitu gani,
na ati alisoma online.
Sawa, yako na online degree ya health.
Online degree.
Governor wa Nairobi
mwenyewe
Uganda Council of University ilisema si atujipe pasi zake. Those are our leaders. And again, do we really blame them or blame Kenyans? Because Kenyans like good stories. You go tell them, oh, we are fucked. We cannot afford this.
And that's what they want. And by the way, we should take this thing serious. And my appeal to Kenyans is that we are on our own and we should take charge. Penye imefikia revolution is a must. Kama vile tu you were telling us hiyo story ya Animal Farm. We should tunafaa ku revolt.
The problem about Africa, we have a tendency of having exactly the same revolutions kama as Animal Farm, where you replace one thief for another. You know, Museveni actually promised nini democracy wati cause revolution.
Yeah.
Mugabe promised nini democracy too.
But see,
the guy actually had to fall from presidency ange chini akufe so that awache.
Yeah.
I think And it's my belief that maybe Africa wasn't ready for democracy yet. Sawa? Unless we actually have a constitution that we can follow.
Yeah.
Because what we had, we passed a constitution that took billions to pass.
Yeah.
And then immediately after that, they started changing laws. Mara ya kwanza ilikuwa hata MP anafaa kuwa na degree, hata MCS, si ndio?
Yeah, MCS.
Kidogo, the same like Animal Farm.
Yeah.
You can sleep on bed so long as you wear bed sheet.
Yeah.
Do you know by the end of the Animal Farm, there was a horse called Boxer. Boxer was a very hard-working horse. By the end of it, Boxer was so used. I don't know whether he dies or what happens to him. I think walimuuza nyama tena. They use him alafu akamchinja. That's what happens in the book. So that book doesn't end well when unafikiria hivyo. Mwishowe, these poor people ended up being fucked because they were duped into choosing people who sold them horses and delivered donkeys. That is what we're experiencing now. And today we've spoken about fertilizer. We still have mambo ya watu ya health.
Yeah.
We still have mambo ya transport. We still have mtu ya internal affairs. Internal
affairs. Yeah, internal affairs.
Umsa wa security mwenye anaongea na soprano huku na huku Kenya za
Linturi security
Yes. Yeah. We still have minister wa education mwenye aliamka siku moja tu usiku at 12.
In fact, nadhani hiyo jamaa after Linturi vile naona Machogi is the next in.
Machogi looks like he has Alzheimer's. He looks like an old guy whose memory just switches on and off. Anaamka leo anasema hii, the president anasema hii.
He's too old for the job. That's what I think.
Usema hivyo, all the people will come for your neck.
But they should even retire, of course.
I believe one thing. Sorry to cut short. Age does not make someone cleverer. It may make you wiser, but wisdom comes from experience.
Yeah.
What happens when your experience is full of stupidity? A cow does not become a horse because it has become old. It just remains an old cow.
Okay. Yeah.
So choosing an idiot just because they are old
doesn't make them
a better leader.
Yeah, better leaders or experienced.
Yes. They are just experienced fools.
Yeah.
We've been doing something foolish for so long that it becomes normal. That's what we are having now. And I think pia Kenyans, and one funny thing ni most people who voted for Ruto are not even young people venye mtafikiria hivyo. Ni hawa watu wenye wanaenda kanisa za Ezekiel, sijui kanisa za nani, sijui Peace Muiru. Those old people, notorious Christians, were duped into voting this guy mwenye tuko na mashida then anatuimportia pastors from where Benihin to pray for us.
So you are saying these problems zimeletwa kwetu na notorious Christians?
I'm not saying Christians per se. What I'm saying is religion was used to dupe us. I'm also courageous enough to say religion is probably one of the biggest problems we face in Africa.
Of course, that is, but that's a conversation for
another day.
So guys, mimi I don't know, siko sure kama Machogo nani anaitwa Linturi, you see hata na wachangani.
They are the same thing.
Yes, they are the same thing. They are made from one cloth, let me say that. But I don't know if Linturi will see this, but wewe hata kama ni relative wa Linturi or you are there ama in one way or the other unaweza make sure Linturi anaona hii. Mi pia I'll just reiterate what nani alisema, senior counsel Hamala. Huyu mzee atufanyie tu favor ya kuondoka in that position because again, you know this guy he has been scoring E tangu akwe selected kwa hiyo nini. Wakati wamekuwa wanafanya analysis na ile rating na nini, he's been scoring E. But again he will come out and say it is politicized. Kwani mbona tu wewe ndo wanakuwa politicized goni?
We need more logical leaders, not emotional ones. This one is an emotional one. Akifika mbele ya Senate, he wants to start crying, to talk about his own divorce.
Ameleta mambo ya bibi yake just because huyo Marianne sijui Keitanya ako pia kwa hiyo committee. So anasema pia the wife ndio another sponsor wa hii motion. Sisi hatuongelei mambo ya nani amesponsor, we are talking about fertilizer. So whoever sponsored zi haituhusu.
Haituhusu. Mwenye alisponsor ni hata sio Keitani.
Si ni huyu mbunge Bumula.
Yes.
Mbunge Bumula.
And I think for the first time someone from Western is actually doing something.
Yeah.
And it's even weird, we even forgot to mention Halwale who was a senior member of UDA. He is throwing stones at his own government. So Ruto, how much time or how much crying, how much tears? Unataka uhesabu in liters? How?
Which amount?
Should we all die for you to survive?
Bana.
That is a question that the president should ask himself. Anafaa wakati anaita hizi meeting na watu yake awaulize tu, how much embarrassment do you want me to go through? Tutasurvive aje 2027? And I'm almost sure watapita tena. That is the problem.
Yeah. So guys, that's it. Of course, this is Speakers Corner podcast. It's presenter Dante alongside Nabali or critic Don. Yeah, and that's it.